She spent over a year building the biggest harassment case Hollywood had ever seen. Yesterday, a federal judge took an axe to it. 10 of her 13 claims, gone, including the sexual harassment allegation that started it all. Blake Lively just had the worst day of her legal career. And Justin Baldoni, he is calling it a victory. But here is what nobody is telling you. This fight is far from over. Let's break down exactly what happened, because the details will shock you. On April 2nd, 2026, just 1 month before the trial was set to begin, U.S. District Judge Louis Lyman issued a 152-page ruling that gutted Blake Lively's lawsuit against Justin Baldoni. 152 pages. That is not a quick decision. That is a judge who spent months going through every single claim, every piece of evidence, every legal argument, and then made a call that nobody in Hollywood was fully prepared for. Here's what the judge threw out. Sexual harassment, dismissed. Defamation, dismissed. Conspiracy, dismissed. Title VII civil rights violations, dismissed. And 6 more claims on top of that. 10 out of 13. Gone. So how does a case this big, with this much evidence, get gutted like this? The answer is not what you think. The judge did not say Baldoni did nothing wrong. He did not say Blake was lying. He did not side with Baldoni on the facts. He threw out the claims on a technicality that Blake's legal team should have seen coming. Here is exactly what happened. Blake filed her sexual harassment claims under California law. But the filming of It Ends With Us took place in New Jersey, not California. The judge ruled that California law simply does not apply to conduct that happened in another state. And for the federal harassment claims, the judge ruled that Blake was an independent contractor on the film, not a full employee. Federal civil rights law protects employees. It does not protect independent contractors in the same way. That is why 10 claims were dismissed. Not because Blake was wrong, not because Baldoni was innocent, because of jurisdiction and employment classification. Blake's own lawyer made this crystal clear in her statement after the ruling. She said, and this is important, sexual harassment is not going forward not because the defendants did nothing wrong, but because the court determined Blake Lively was an independent contractor, not an employee. Read that again. Her own legal team is saying the defendants did something wrong. They just cannot pursue it under those specific laws. So what is actually left? 3 claims survived the judge's ruling, and honestly, they might be the most dangerous ones for Baldoni. Claim 1, retaliation. Blake alleges that after she raised concerns about the hostile environment on set, Baldoni and his team launched a coordinated campaign to destroy her reputation. This claim is going to trial. Claim 2, aiding and abetting retaliation. This targets the people around Baldoni. The crisis PR operatives, the publicists, the team who allegedly helped execute the smear campaign. This is going to trial. Claim 3, breach of contract. Blake alleges that specific agreements made during production were violated. This is going to trial. 3 claims, May 18th, Manhattan, federal court. And Blake Lively will take the stand. Now, what does Baldoni's side say about all of this? His lawyers are celebrating, and they have every right to. Getting 10 claims dismissed 1 month before trial is a massive legal victory by any measure. His attorneys released a statement saying they were, quote, very pleased the court dismissed all sexual harassment claims and every claim brought against the individual defendants. They called it a careful review of the facts and said they look forward to presenting their defense to the remaining claims. Baldoni himself has maintained from day one that there was no harassment, no smear campaign, no retaliation. He has said he was the victim of a coordinated attack by Blake and Ryan Reynolds designed to destroy his reputation and his career. With 10 claims now dismissed, his team will walk into that May 18th courtroom with significantly more confidence than they had last week. But here's the reality that everyone is missing in the headlines. The 3 claims that survived are the ones that cut deepest. The retaliation claim is where the real story lives, because if Blake can prove in front of a jury that Baldoni's team hired crisis PR professionals to flood the internet with negative stories about her, that they manipulated public sentiment, planted false narratives, and systematically destroyed her reputation, that is not just a lawsuit anymore. That is a blueprint. A documented, evidence-backed playbook for how powerful men in Hollywood silence women who speak up. And Blake Lively's lawyer made sure everyone understood what this case is really about. She said, this case has always been and will remain focused on the devastating retaliation and the extraordinary steps the defendants took to destroy Blake Lively's reputation because she stood up for safety on the set. And that is the case that is going to trial. She also added something that should send a chill through Hollywood. She said, "For Blake Lively, the greatest measure of justice is that the people and the playbook behind these coordinated digital attacks have been exposed and are already being held accountable by other women they have targeted." Other women, plural, this is bigger than Blake Lively. So where does this leave us? Blake Lively took a significant legal hit yesterday. There is no spinning that. 10 claims dismissed is a painful blow to any lawsuit. But she is still standing, still going to trial, still planning to take the stand and testify in front of a jury. And the 3 claims she has left are the ones that go to the heart of everything. Was there a coordinated professional operation designed to destroy her? Did real people, with real budgets, execute a real plan to silence her before she could speak? A jury of ordinary people will answer that question on May 18th. Hollywood is watching. The entertainment industry is watching. Every actress who has ever been told to stay quiet on a set is watching. Because if the retaliation claims succeed, if a jury looks at the evidence and says, yes, this happened, yes, this was real, yes, this was wrong, then the entire way power operates behind closed doors in Hollywood changes forever. And if they fail, then the message to every person who speaks up about misconduct is clear. You can be destroyed, and the people who destroyed you will walk away. May 18th is not just a trial date, it is a verdict on Hollywood itself. Stay with GlamExposed for every development as this trial unfolds, because the truth always comes out.